Alright fellow friends and followers, it's me Retromania, and in today's video I mean me and 8 other content creators will be talking about our favorite female waifus in video game JRPG history. And with this out of the way, let's jump to our 10 favorite waifus. The stage is yours, guys.
Dookie03 here, and one of my favorite waifus has got to be Beatrix from Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy IX is always fighting with 4 as my favorite game in the series, but Beatrix is easily my favorite female in the franchise. From the first time you lay eyes on her, you know she stands for honor and will lay the absolute smackdown on anyone in her way. Unfortunately, it just so happens to be you. Unless your kink is getting your ass beat up and down the damp rocky floors of Burmecia, which isn't the worst kink to have honestly, Beatrix is gonna be a bad time. It's not until later when Steiner and her begin to show more of a relationship that you get to know her a bit better. You even get to play as her as she tag teams with Steiner to protect the Kingdom of Alexandria from an all-out attack by Kuja. For being a babe as well as an honor-driven badass with some of the most powerful attacks in the game, Beatrix had to be in this video. Now, if you're wondering who my absolute favorite JRPG waifu is, then wait no more, as she's right up next.
What's up, Retro Maniacs? This is Taylor from the Gaming Shelf, and today I'm here to talk about a waifu that doesn't nearly get the attention she deserves, and that's Jade from Dragon Quest XI. To me, Jade's just got it all. Of course, she's hot. She's got her standard outfit that really accentuates her assets, as well as other awesome costumes like that one that kind of looks like a genie in her bunny girl outfit, and tons of other awesome ones. Not to mention this moveset where she does all these sexy dances and tries to seduce the enemy. On top of all that, she's just a badass martial artist. When you first see her, she's in this fighting tournament and she's like one of the top contenders, and then when she comes on your team, she's awesome. Also, she's not afraid to bust out her moves if you talk back to her. And what I love is she's not a damsel in distress. In fact, there's plenty of moments where she saves you. And also, that sultry British accent, just perfect.
So how are you feeling? Ready for bed?
Not to mention that you can hold hands and get married to her in the updated definitive edition. Show me where you can do that with Tifa. So stop forgetting about Jade, one of the best waifus in gaming, and show her the respect and love she deserves.
Hello, Chicken Fillets here, and thank you to Retromania for having me on today. Now let's be quite fair, there's probably been some fantastic picks already, but you've not seen the best yet, and the best waifu is obviously Laura S.R. Sade. So you might be thinking, well, why is Laura the best? Well, come on, it's Laura. One of the strongest team members of Class 7 and loyal to boot as well. She is a fantastic member of the team. And she stands out pretty well amongst the crowd with the shiny blue hair and the massive sword to boot as well. Now game-wise, she is a utter game changer. She's pretty OP to be fair if you know how to set her up properly. And my last reason for her being the best waifu out of everyone on this list, well, look at the screen now. Laura.
Thanks for having me on Retromania. When you asked me which JRPG waifu I wanted to feature, I knew I had to pick one of my favorite characters from The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3. That character, Yuna Crawford. Here's something kind of funny though. Yuna is disliked by a number of Trails fans. Their reasoning? That she's a tsundere character, which is far from the truth. She is in fact a Deri character who's damaged. The reason she's damaged? Because the actions of the Erebonian Empire endangered herself and her younger siblings. So I bet you're wondering why I like this character so much. My main reasons for liking the character is because her personality traits are what I generally look for in women. I have a thing for bubbly tomboyish ladies. Those are actually core traits for Yuna. She's high energy as seen by her love for athletics. At times her tomboyish side can be hard to spot as she is absolutely mad for Mishi. Then again, most of the female characters in the Trails series have a love for the anthropomorphic gray and white kitty. But if you look at Yuna's interactions, you'll see that she's not as much of a girly girl like some of the other characters such as Muse. Some of the other reasons I love the character is because she's incredibly kind and caring, and her storyline, which I won't discuss here, is pretty good. If you haven't played the Erebonian arc yet, please go and do so. Yuna also proves to have great leadership qualities in Trails of Cold Steel 4 when a certain Ashen Chevalier is not a member of your party. I apologize for being vague, but I don't want to spoil the end of Cold Steel 3 for anyone watching who has yet to experience it. That experience shattered me, just like it shattered the members of both old and new Class 7. The only reason that character was able to rejoin the party was thanks to Yuna displaying strong leadership capabilities. It's because of this quality she's able to rally the troops and restore morale. While I'd already been endeared to the character thanks to English voice actor Erica Harlacher giving a brilliant performance as the character during the second chapter of Cold Steel 3, this just cemented my love for the character. My sort of final reason for loving this character is because she's incredibly cute. Admittedly, a shallow reason, but what can I say, the cuteness and the combination of character traits makes me love the character. If you want to see some of the other characters I have on my list of gaming waifus, then you can head on over to my channel. You'll probably notice I have a certain type. Feel free to tease me about that over there. Thanks again for having me on Retromania. I hope we can collaborate more in the future. I can't wait to see some of the other entries in this video.
Hi everybody, this is David over at the channel David Vank, and I wanted to thank Retromania so much for allowing me to come onto his channel and talk about my favorite waifu. Who thought that you'd see me talking about a waifu? He approached me and he was like, hey, let's talk about some great women in RPGs, and I'm like, I don't know, but I thought about it and I came up with one, and that is Celes from Final Fantasy VI. I just love her. A lot of people say that Final Fantasy VI doesn't really have a main character, but if I was to say that one is really in contention, that is Celes. You first come across her in the South Figaro basement as she has deserted the Empire and she's being tortured, and Locke goes and rescues her. And then she grows to become kind of accepted by the group. Cyan, of course, doesn't really like her all that much, but she comes into the clutch with the opera scene. It is one of the most moving scenes in the entire game, and she gets dressed up into that gorgeous gown and looks just like Maria, and she uses herself as bait to get captured by Setzer so that the crew can get an airship and head over and invade the Empire. The only person that was really kind of like her family or a father figure was Sid, the man who actually experimented on her and injected her with magicite, allowing her to have access to magical spells. So when the World of Ruin happens and she is alone and she is kind of abandoned, the one person who's there for her is Sid. Now, here you kind of have a choice with her. You can save Sid, or you can let the bitch die. And it's completely up to you, but I've got to say, if you let him die, you will fall in love with Celes. Just the character development, the growth that you see from her. Then as you continue on through the World of Ruin and you learn more about Locke and Rachel, she kind of begins to understand where he's coming from, and she falls in love with him. And I think that just as players, we all fall in love with her as well. And that is why I've got to say, if I had to choose a waifu, it just has to be my Magitech Knight, Celes. Thank you so much again, Retromania, for having me. And everybody else out there, have a good one.
Oh, we're talking about waifus today. That's convenient. Hi there, I am Up in Nimbus, and today Retromania has invited me to talk about one of my most favorite girls within a video game. My ultimate decision is going to have to be Pyra / Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But that is also a difficult decision in itself, because even though I've got the hots for Mithra and I think she is one sexy blonde bombshell, ultimately I do believe Pyra is the better option when it comes to waifu material. Pyra is there with you from the very start of the game of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You begin the journey on the Cloud Sea as the salvager Rex. We find ourselves teaming up with a mysterious group of people known as Torna. Once we meet up with these guys, we eventually traverse back out into the Cloud Sea, but this time we're searching for something far more rare and peculiar. It's up to Rex and a whole bunch of other NPC salvagers to go searching for an elusive treasure beneath the clouds. This is where we discover Pyra for the first time, as she is sleeping in a coma of some sort. Eventually, Pyra wakes up, joins our side, and ventures with us to the top of the world tree. But I want to talk about some qualities and attributes of Pyra, of why I think she's pretty amazing. To be honest, how could you not love a flame sword wielding waifu with plenty of assets? She actually has a unique technique where she can cook homemade dinners and wondrous meals across the rainbow. Just thinking about Pyra's cooking is making me starving. As much as I've got the hots for Mithra, I truly think Pyra is the better character and the more genuine gal who travels alongside you between the two. Oh my god, and I forgot how acrobatic she is. That's some really good reflexes, holy smokes. Having a girl swear her loyalty to you and fight alongside you is one of the most honourable things a man could ever ask for. Or a girl, if you swing that way, doesn't matter who you are. I think I've rambled on a little bit too much about Pyra now, so I'm going to cut it off right here. Retromania, thank you so much for having me on. I look forward to seeing everybody else's choices in this collaboration video. Therefore, I'll hand it over to you, whoever's next.
Hi guys, and thanks so much Retromania for having me. I'm Luca from Fader Gaming, and I'm happy to get the chance to talk about my favorite JRPG waifu. You know, like probably most of you, I've played video games for over 25 years now, so I played a lot of games with great female characters. Judith from Tales of Vesperia, Lulu from Final Fantasy X, Jessica from Dragon Quest VIII or Lilica from Rogue Galaxy are a few of my favorites. But none of them come close to my favorite female character ever, and that is Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. For me, Aerith has it all. She's smart, she can be funny, sometimes even a bit cheeky, and in my humble opinion, she's the most beautiful woman in any video game. Yes, even in the original. I mean, look at her. Isn't she just gorgeous? I love what Square Enix did with her in the remake. They really showed that Aerith is a kind-hearted, caring young woman that never loses her positivity and hope, even though she knows exactly what bad things are happening around her. She's always a strong woman that is a friend to everyone in the party, which makes her death even more devastating. In the remake, all of that is presented in a very nuanced motion capture performance, and the absolutely brilliant voice acting of Brianna White. It's really hard not to fall in love with her. Except you're Cloud, then you're kind of an idiot treating her like she just ran over your dog in a driveway or something.
My hero.
Like I give a shit.
So Aerith is my favorite female waifu of them all because I love that she's strong, never gives up, and cares for others more than for herself. And she's just a humble person overall. Thanks again to Retromania for having me on the channel. This was a lot of fun and I can't wait to see what the next entry is. Alright guys, have a great day and until next time.
What's up Retromania viewers, I'm Sadboy336 and my favorite JRPG waifu has to be Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was one of my first JRPGs and Tifa has to have been one of my earliest crushes. A badass martial arts queen, while Cloud and the gang were fighting with giant swords, gun arms, magic, she was standing against them with just her fisticuff, against literal giant creatures. She takes care of Cloud the whole time while he's zombied out, and she's also a great leader who holds it down for the Avalanche group, running the bar and hosting the Avalanche headquarters, all while secretly blowing up Mako reactors with the gang. She's tough as nails, kind, and cool as hell. Plus, she has a childhood connection with Cloud and doesn't say anything when he's telling his story to the group. A true ride or die friend that I ship Cloud with. Shout out to Retromania for having me on the channel. Thank you so much, man.
Now it's my time, heck yeah, and because this is my channel, my rules, I choose 2 waifus, not 1, and the waifus I choose are Ringo from Soul Hackers 2 and Futaba from Persona 5. Also, yes, I'm well aware that both characters are from Atlas. I first wanted to pick Edelgard from Fire Emblem Three Houses, but after playing Soul Hackers 2 on my Steam Deck, I changed my decision. Soul Hackers 2 is so fun portable. Anyways, let's discuss Ringo from Soul Hackers 2. Ringo is best waifu because 90% of the time you see this part of her body while playing Soul Hackers 2. It's good that I don't need both of my hands while recording my voice. Where was I? Oh yes, Ringo. Ringo, it's a robot machine, but not really. She's like a ultra AI version what got a human body. I don't know, I really don't know on what drugs Atlas were while creating Soul Hackers 2. She actually has a lot of personality and humanity, considering she's just a bunch of data, informations in a human body. I also love her design, the yellow jacket with the yellow triangles blinking looks so cool. If a cosplay like this exists, I will definitely buy one. I mean, she's dripping guys, she has the drip. I also like how she develops over time, starts to care more about her friends, teammates, and how she bonds with them together. I mean, you have literally a number how much you have bonded with each character together. And how you can say no to a girl with such a charming smile. My heart is melting, and this is why Ringo definitely deserves a place in this list. And let's move on to Futaba from Persona 5. You see, Futaba, it's a normal looking girl, not too huge curves, decent body, she doesn't have that much meat, quote unquote meat, than for example Ringo or Edelgard, but this doesn't mean that Futaba cannot be waifu material. What makes Futaba waifu material, it's her 10 out of 10 backstory and character, let me explain. Futaba, it's the nerdy, geeky girl everyone wants to have. She likes computers, hacking, video games, anime, figures, anime merchandise. She's pretty much one of us.
One of us! One of us! Google gobble! Google gobble! One of us! One of us!
Besides her hobby, she's a very introverted person, and I think most of us had this phase in our life. She develops over time to overcome these fears, and it's amazing to see her character development arc. Also, even though she doesn't have the same meat, the same curves as other girls in Persona 5, she is still absolutely gorgeous. I love her red hair, I'm definitely into red chicks. Also, fun fact, Futaba's original hair color isn't red or orange, it's actually black. I pulled out my Persona 5 art book to show it to you. Also, it makes much more sense that Futaba's hair color is black, because she's from Japan, she's Japanese. I also have this Futaba figure because why not? I actually got this for dirt cheap. Why not? Because with a discount for pre-ordering it. I got it for $20. Yes, $20 new. Also, Futaba's backstory, without spoiling it, it's amazing. I don't want to take it away for people who never played Persona 5, but for the people who did play Persona 5, we can all agree that Futaba's backstory, it's the best. And this is the reason why Futaba reigns supremacy above all other girls. So yeah guys, this was the top 10 best waifus in JRPG history. Thanks again to everyone who participated in this video, you did an amazing job. And yeah guys, write me down below your favorite JRPG waifus and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And with this out of the way, I wish you all a wonderful day, sayonara my good old JRPG and waifu friends. Bye, 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 and ciao.